like, let me explain it. So, instant action has been like a big rumor surrounding Battlefront for a couple months, okay? And suddenly, a couple weeks ago, like, this guy went into the new Bespin DLC patch or whatever, and he found a menu to instant action. Here, let me find it really quick. Like this, I'm with two of my friends right now. I have an image pulled up of a hidden instant action menu right here. A lot of people were claiming that it's Photoshop. Nate, if you want to go type in on Google Star Wars Battlefront instant action, and then type in Reddit after it, there should be a Reddit thread with an image of instant action in the main Battlefront menu that this guy hacked into. If you want to look that up with, yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So there's this whole big rumor about it, and I guess the lead multiplayer designer like said, someone commented something like, "Are you just gonna cancel the offline content that you promised us?" And he goes, "Oh, we'll announce it when it's ready. We don't want to say what it is." But it's like, I don't understand why not, because like if I go into this Reddit thread right now, oh wait, that's not the right one. Hang on, okay, here it is. It's like, single player instant action will pull me back into playing this game, and I definitely buy the expansion as a result. If this is a real single player and split screen versus bots and full matches similar to the original games, I'm suddenly very interested. Would definitely make me want to buy the complete version. So it's like, after this thing is leaked, everyone all of a sudden wants to buy the season pass, and everyone wants to buy the game. So, because it's like, it's a thing that should have been in the game in the first place. But
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, like, they're saying, oh hey, oh my god, if this is gonna be instant action, because see, there's two kinds of Battlefront players in this game. There's the age of like 9-year-olds that are just starting to play Battlefront. But then there's like, they're introduced to the whole online game thing. But then there's players like us, where we played like Battlefront 2, where all we played with was bots. And you could fuck around all you wanted, and you could explore the maps and everything,
Yep.
So it kind of bothers me that it wasn't included in the original game. But now all of a sudden that it is, everyone's like, oh my god, I'll totally buy everything. But the only problem is, it says right here on IGN, like, it hasn't been confirmed yet by EA. Even if you don't want to announce when the release date is, I don't understand why you wouldn't go, hey, we're going to come out with instant action. Because that would make people, oh my god, I got to save my $50 so that I can buy the season pass now. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they won't just say we're coming out with instant action.
Or we're not, because if people buy the season pass and they're not actually selling it, then they're scamming.
Yeah, they're giving a vague answer, I feel. So normally when they give vague answers, it means that they have it, they just want to be a dick about it, really.
So, right now I'm looking at another image. In this instant action menu that this guy found, right now you can either play Walker Assault or Fighter Squadron. Those are the only two modes that was in this video that this guy took. I think that when they're going to release this, I really hope that they have like a heroes versus villains kind of thing where they make like hero bots.
Yeah.
And I can understand why that would take more time, because they never came out with hero bots in the original game. They never made hero bots, but they made like infantry bots, so I don't think that would be very hard. So I'm hoping that while they take their time with this, that they're going to come out with like a heroes versus villains kind of thing,
Yep.
So I don't know. That would be my only guess. Like, what do you guys think is holding them back from just saying, like, it's instant action?
Well, it could be that they want the time to complete it before they actually say they have it. That could be one of the issues.
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying they could have it in development, but not have it completed yet.
Okay.
That could be one thing.
Well, the other thing that I've noticed is, see, they announced in, I think it was April. Hang on, I'm going to go to the thread. Yeah, right here we have coming soon to Star Wars Battlefront this spring. And it was, yeah, a really old thread. And right here we have more new content. We also have a couple of surprises in store that we know our fans have been looking for. Especially those who have been clamoring rights to have more options to enjoy Star Wars Battlefront offline. More to come soon. But this thread was posted, like April 13th, 2016. That is 2.5 months from now, and we still haven't gotten like any official thing. I don't know if it's because they were working on the Bestman expansion forever, and then like now all of a sudden they're just deciding to move on with this single player content that was promised. That's what my guess is, that they've been working on these DLCs. You know.
Yeah. Because sometimes they promise you things, and like they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then they scrap it later and just like make something new too.
Mm-hmm. They did that with, there was a mode called Extraction in the Outer Rim DLC, and the same guy that leaked this menu leaked like an Endor extraction mission with Han and Leia, but then it turned out to just be a scrapped mission. But I don't think, because ever since the game came out in like November, all the fans are like, where's instant action? Where's offline multiplayer? You know what I mean? So I think if they don't come out with instant action for the promised offline content, I think that is the worst strategy like you could ever do.
Yeah.
Because EA has already had their fuck up when they released the game. And now they're just like starting to build it up, you know? They gave us the Luke and Han skins from Hoth. They gave us a ton of free content with like maps and stuff. And then the expansion game, the Outer Rim was not that special. It had no new planets. And it had races that were already in the game. But like with Bespin, you know, they've really bounced back. So this new game, like, everyone's looking at the release of this game as like a beta almost, because of all the content that we've been receiving every single month. And I think that if they come out with instant action here, I honestly think like that would seal the deal of this being like a really, really good Star Wars game, and maybe even the best out there right now. Because it's beautiful, and it also provides all that original trilogy content that we always wanted, you know? They're bringing in all that stuff from the original trilogy. And it looks amazing. But when it was released, there was no content, and all of a sudden they're starting to build it, but everyone still wants offline content. Everything has been online. And everyone wants instant action ever since November, and they know that. So I feel like if they don't come out with instant action, like, then they fucked up, like, really, really bad. Like, even worse than... Huh? Go ahead.
I feel like if they don't do it, that'll be like a huge fuck up, because if most of the fan base is saying, hey, you guys should do this, and maybe hint at it, it's like, hey guys, do this, and they don't do it, then that's just not going to be good for them market-wise. People are going to be like, you know what, screw this.
Yeah, because like people said, I'll buy the season pass. Like, you were giving me instant action. Here's $50. You know?
I mean, actually,
if they released it, shit, I'd put $50 into that.
Right, like, because I really hope that they're taking their time with this, not because they're like being lazy about it. I really want them to add like I want them to put split screen co-op into this. First of all, there was no split screen content in Star Wars Battlefront.
Yep.
If they can have split screen co-op, good split screen co-op, and have like in Walker Assault, have like, if you're playing with a buddy that's coming over to your house, if they can have 38 bots running around, and then you and your friend can play split screen and go up against a bunch of bots, like, that is good time management, and I do not mind waiting longer if that's what they have. Because right now I'm looking at an image of Walker Assault, and there's a hero icon, ships, and 40 players. So hopefully, you know, bots can't pick up the hero tokens, so you get to be the hero. Because that's another thing, you know, there are hero tokens. It's not skill-based like Battlefront 2 in online. So if you want to be a hero, then you got to find that hero token before someone else does, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's offline, then you shouldn't even have to worry about it, because then you can just find it yourself.
One thing I don't understand is why they didn't just add offline to begin with and add a split screen, because that's like the number one gaming tradition if somebody comes over to your house.
I know! And they didn't even add split screen online multiplayer into this.
I mean, it's like they took like Doom and they won't allow split screen because they're trying to go that path, but then they give you all the bad parts to like a game like Call of Duty where they're going right now.
Mm-hmm. See, but like, I feel like offline Star Wars Battlefront would be a lot like cooler than like the Call of Duty offline with bots. Like at least Call of Duty has it, but it's like the exact same thing every time. You know, it's just a bunch of soldiers running around. You know what I mean? And a bunch of maps.
And everyone only plays Nuketown on offline. Nuketown is in every Call of Duty game.
Yeah, pretty much. But like with Star Wars Battlefront Instant Action, I mean, you know, you can have spaceships, you can have, you know, walkers, you can be a Jedi, you can be a hero, or you can be a soldier, and you can go to a bunch of different planets. Like, that is really, really cool offline multiplayer. That's not as repetitive as the Call of Duty's offline
So if you want to have like an offline open world, what fun can you not have in an open world?
Right. Well,
Like,
the maps in Walker Assault are ginormous. They're huge. They're super huge maps. And that's really cool. But like when the game came out in November, me and David, we wanted to play as Luke and Han together and fight the villain heroes.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh my god, you know, that'll be so much fun. It'll be just like playing Battlefront 2, but with different graphics. It'll be so awesome. And then they didn't come out with it at all. So, going back to what I said earlier, if they're going to spend this much time on it, because like I said, that thread came out on April 13th. It's almost going to be 3 whole months ever since they said they were going to come out with it. I won't mind how long it takes if they give me a heroes versus villains that I can play with my buddies. I will be mad, though, if all this time commitment goes in and they don't release instant action, or they won't give me the modes that I want. Like, Walker Assault and Fire Squadron I want. But I also want, like, Blast and Supremacy in Heroes vs. Villains. Those are the 5 that I want. And they've also go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If they're just wasting the time right now, everybody's going to be pissed, because why the hell are you guys wasting time when you could have been doing this the entire time? And if they are actually doing the work and putting the work behind it, then I think it's fair to wait. Just give it a sec.
It's EA, so I'm not even expecting that are putting in.
Well, like I said, this instant action mode is EA and DICE's comeback to this game.
Yeah.
I feel like because fans have said this, if you release instant action, I will love this game. All is forgiven about its release. You have added content that we want, because they've given us content that we wanted.
Yeah.
But we want instant action more than anything. Everyone wants it. No one wants anything else right now but instant action. That's just how the fan base is right now. And I want instant action more than anything in this game. So if they take their time wisely, if they give me the modes that I want, if they give a split screen, because I'm going to show you, I want to tell you this too. One of the other images up on the Reddit page is, if you go to the menu, there's solo play and partner online co-op. But keep in mind, that's on the PC. There's not going to be split screen on the PC.
Yeah.
But if you're playing it on the PS4 and the Xbox, well then, you have to have it.
You said that.
Huh?
I love how you said that, because all of my friends play on the PS4 and they said the exact same way.
Yeah. Xbox. So that's what I'm saying. They have to have split screen in this.
Yeah, it goes against pretty much the fundamental laws of video gaming to not have split screen, if you think about it.
Well, right now, go ahead.
I'm just saying, not having split screen option is like inviting your friends over and just playing in front of them.
It's like inviting your friends over and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I only have one controller." Like you don't do that. You have more than one controller.
And it's like, what if you sat down with like a Super Nintendo with one of your friends back in the 90s and you guys wanted to play something, you would play it together split screen instead of just sitting there and just having you guys pass the controller back and forth.
Diddy Kong Racing or Golden Run.
Well, here's the thing. Right now, if the main menu, you know, there's 2 big, huge bricks. There's a multiplayer brick and a missions brick.
Yeah.
Then there's the two little ones at the bottom. The instant action menu, if you split the missions block in half, and then you keep the top part of it, so like that shock trooper that's on the missions thing.
Yep.
If you only have like his head and a part of his torso, that's how much is left of the missions menu. And then on the bottom of that is this instant action menu that this guy found. And it says instant action, epic battles with 1 or 2 players. So I'm like, okay, that's great. And the guy put his mouse on it and it says, enjoy epic battles offline by yourself or with a friend. Now,
Hopefully.
huh?
No, hopefully by
How
that.
would that would be?
Hopefully by that they do not mean like the whole
LAN?
LAN thing to where you have to have 2 consoles or
Right.
2 PCs in the house
Oh,
to
I
do
swear
that.
if
Because
they
if they
did
did that, that would piss so many
I
people
would
off.
stab them.
So, there were a lot of... Did you find the image of this instant action menu or no?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so you see how like it are you looking at the menu right now of like the enjoy battles offline by yourself with a friend?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You're seeing these images?
Yep.
Does that look fake to you at all?
No.
No, it doesn't look fake, but I don't really ever trust anything. I don't know. Let me zoom
Right.
on.
Well, the same guy, the back to bomb
Yeah.
and that one shock gun or whatever, the ion neutralizer or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This guy found those guns in the coding before they were announced and played them and recorded them even before EA said, like, this guy found the back-to-bomb and recorded gameplay of it before EA said, this is the back-to-bomb.
Well, if this guy is good at what he does,
Why didn't he record like gameplay of instant action?
Well,
Well, I mean,
I guess
Good team development.
I'm assuming that it wasn't finished because he stopped the video when he clicked on a map and then it was starting to load. But I noticed like there weren't tips at all. It gives you like tips at the bottom.
hmm
Tips did not show up. And it looked kind of like it was like, it was really laggy when it was loading. I think like the coding just isn't finished. Maybe the game crashes or maybe there isn't anything and it just keeps on loading and loading and loading for, till the end of time right now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm looking at these images, and at first I thought, maybe because it looks kind of cropped, the instant
Yeah.
action image. It looks just like a little bit cropped next to the missions one. But then I thought, I think it is real now, because when he put his mouse on it, like, that looks really legit.
Yeah.
The enjoy epic battles offline by yourself or with a friend. And then when you go to the menu, when you select your map and everything, like right now this guy is the instant action fighter squadron thing, and they show these maps and like the little plus signs at the bottom.
hmm
I think that's like you can make your own playlist, like how you could do with Battlefront 2. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think I'd another use of it.
I don't know. Like, I originally thought, ooh, maybe this guy's just playing me. But, like, when I actually studied it, like, it says play/instant action,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think that, like, why would you go to this much trouble to fake something when your track record is pretty much perfect?
Yeah. If
Because-
it is a hoax, though, he did a pretty damn good job at doing it.
Yeah, seriously. Because this looks so legit. Like, it has the whole rating system. Like, it just says, job done. 8 minutes. Takedown. Because if you go to Survivors of Endor, look at this. This is in Walker Assault, and it says job done. Complete the mission. 50 credits reward. That is not in online stuff at all.
Yeah.
The whole like credits reward thing. 8 minutes. Complete the mission in 8 minutes. Takedown. Capture without. It says, I don't know, complete without failing a tow cable takedown. Maybe this, I don't know, that was kind of similar to the Walker, the snow speeder training mission, but like that makes total sense. Like this whole rating system thing to go along with instant action.
Yeah. Plus, I highly doubt that if this is a hoax,
I think it's real.
Like, if it was a hoax, why would the guy waste his perfect track record, or pretty much perfect track record,
Right.
to try to push this saying, hey guys, look at what I made? Because if you, lose all credibility, what good are you going to be?
Because if
You
you find
lose
something
everything.
out later, then
No one's going to
no
believe
one's
him.
gonna believe him.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of people went into the coding of the Bespin DLC when it came out. They went into the coding of the game, and a lot of them found a lot of information about instant action. But this is the only guy that actually managed to access the menu. But like I said, a lot of people have managed to find information about instant action.
If they found information about bringing it back and everything, and a lot of people are saying it, I think it would be safe to assume that it's going to make a comeback.
And with Call of Duty, they accidentally on PC, they leaked a bunch of files, and people were going through the coding and reading stuff, and they assumed stuff. And the coding ended up being wrong in most cases with DLC, like they did DLC Pyramid, and we didn't receive a DLC Pyramid. But he actually found the menu, which gives me, like, superb hope, because now, it's not like someone did the pyramid background, even though you can search on Google and find that exact same image. It's right there, and it's well made, and he's got a really good track record of being correct, so I don't know, I trust him.
Now, the other thing is that this one guy commented on the Battlefront forums. I won't be able to find it on the website, but he pretty much just put it on the forum a couple of weeks ago. He said, is this offline content that we're going to get just done? Like, are we not going to get it? Is it a broken promise? And the lead multiplayer designer said, we're doing it. It'll come when it's ready. I want to give you details, but I can't. And he said, I wanted to have it ready by Bespin, but it's going to take a little longer.
So maybe that's what's taking them so long, is they're trying to make this multiplayer.
I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I want it to have heroes versus villains so bad.
Maybe what he's really trying to say is, we have it, we just don't want to release some shitty quality for you, so we're going to not half-ass this and actually do it the way you want it.
Right, well he said, this is your game, we want to make it the best experience for you. And I'm glad, because they've announced all these new Star Wars games that are already coming out in the coming years, but I love how they're still sticking with this game.
Yeah.
They're not just tossing it aside. And I'm really happy about that, because I'm sure they have people working on Battlefront 2 right now. But I don't care about Battlefront 2 right now. I care about this game. Because this game is the original trilogy Battlefront. The next one is supposed to have episodes 7 and 8 content.
Oh, God, no.
Because I know. Well, I care about the original trilogy more than anything. And if this is going to be the only original trilogy Battlefront game, I need this.
Needed to be perfect. It's going to be what you want.
I can't hear you guys. Say that again.
If it's going to be the original trilogy, I would expect nothing less than perfect, because not Disney has Star Wars, so if they're going to make
that's because the original. Go ahead.
I want the original.
I'm just saying, if it's anything less than perfect on the original trilogy, the amount of fans of the original trilogy there are, and the amount of people who play the games who are also those fans, if they mess up, there's going to be outrage.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they have a set guideline of what they need to do, and that is create this and have this not be a hoax, have instant action be true, and that's, like you said earlier, that's all you want in the game. It'd be perfect if you just added that. So if they don't listen to every single person and make it perfect by adding instant action, then they're screwed.
Right. And also keep in mind, the original trilogy is Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what all the people look at least our generation, because we all grew up in the same generation of Star Wars and games.
Yeah.
It's what defines the whole, this is what this is.
Is the original trilogy.
Yeah,
this is the greatest sci-fi series of all time.
It defines this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
And Episode 7, if you think about it, is just a remake of A New Hope.
It is, yeah.
So, right now, I don't really care about Episode 7, because I will when they focus on Battlefront 2, But right now, I don't care about Battlefront 2 at all. All I care about is this game. Because this is the original trilogy. And when they released this game, it was bad. Like, just bad.
If they're taking time to actually fix the game, make it better and everything, it would just make sense to be like, why not just do this, make them happy?
Right.
Come on.
So I think because they're taking their time, though, that's a good sign. Because I think what they also want to do is include all of those DLC maps. But the thing with that is, if you include all the Bespin and Outer Rim DLC maps, then you have to include the extraction mode from the Outer Rim. And you have to include Sabotage from the Bespin DLC, which are special game modes to those DLCs. So those have to be included as well. And I don't know, like in Walker Assault, are they going to have it where you get to pick up your hero token, but the bots on the opposite side will have a hero? Because remember in like Battlefront 2, how your side had a hero when you were doing good, but the other side never had a hero at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even in Galactic Conquest, they used a leader bonus, but there was never a leader.
Yeah.
So
It's like, what is this bonus for if you're not gonna have a leader?
They need
Just
because competition too. So if like the other team, if you want,
you're gonna have to speak up. You're gonna have to speak up a little bit, Reagan.
The bots should have a leader. They should have a hero or a villain or whatever.
I mean-
but they should have one because competition.
I don't know about you, but I like a little challenge every now and then.
Right. Well, another thing that you can do if you guys are still on the images, you can set the difficulty to normal, hard, or master, and the master bots are really difficult. Like I remember, I wanted to do a hero battle on Endor as Luke, and I won it, but it took me like I don't know, a lot of tries. So I think if you put it on master difficulty, and if you're playing like Walker Assault or Heroes versus Villains or Supremacy, like it's going to be a really, really big challenge. But I feel like if you just want to go and like because when you play offline, you are the best. You're the best player out there.
Yeah.
And now when you play online, it's like,
Right, like
I'm a noob.
yeah,
Oh,
pretty
God.
much. But when you're playing offline, you are the best. So, if you have a normal difficulty, I'm sure you can just be like, come at me, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a feeling that we don't really have in this game right now, which is really too bad, because this is Star Wars. This is not Call of Duty.
This is if I want to hold a lightsaber and cut people in half with ease, I can do it. Damn it.
Right, because, like, if you play online, and if you want to be like Luke, you gotta get that hero token before, like, I don't know, 19 more people than you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is really difficult. And then when you are a hero, you're not just playing against bots that you can set a difficulty at. You're playing against, like, people that are smart. So if you're out there with a lightsaber, but, you're playing, like, the super big map with, everyone having, blasters, you're screwed. But I'm sure if you're playing against, like, normal bots on a big map like Walker Assault, it would be a lot easier and a lot more fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say.
And then, again with Heroes versus Villains, there's a lot of different maps for Walker Assault than Heroes versus Villains. Both of those modes have different maps,
Yeah.
like sets. The Heroes versus Villains maps are not as big as the Walker Assault ones. But I feel like if they do include an offline Heroes versus Villains mode, that's going to be the new Mos Eisley Assault
I feel like it would be too, yeah.
from Battlefront 2. Because Assault on Mos Eisley in Battlefront 2 was the best. In case you don't know what that is, that's where you could be the good guys or the bad guys, and all of the heroes from that game fought all of the villains from that game. And there was prequel and original trilogy units in that game, Battlefront 2.
God.
And I mean, you could have you could be Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then have Princess Leia follow you, and you could be fighting I don't know, like Darth Sidious and Jango Fett. You know, it was that kind of thing. So right now they have Lando Calrissian and Nina in it, and then they have 2 bounty hunters, and then Boba Fett and Darth Vader and the Emperor. But like, if they do manage to make like good bots for these other villains, that's gonna be so cool. The only thing is, there isn't a 5-on-5 heroes versus villains yet. So probably if they do come out with an offline heroes versus villains, there's probably going to be like a 3-on-3, and they'll just randomly choose the bots that you have to face. I'm sure you can pick one, and then if there's like a guest, then they can pick one too.
Yeah.
And then like the last bot on the hero side is just going to be random, and then the other 3 bots on the villain side is also going to be random. That I'm okay with. But
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's totally fine. And then it's split into 5 rounds, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that would be amazing. That would be great. I want this instant action mode to make me want to play it.
Like, I feel like if they added the instant action mode, a lot of people would be playing.
Right. And
like,
if you're going to release it, you're going to make more money. It might be a free update, but a lot more people are going to want to buy your game. A lot more people are going to want to buy your season pass.
And it's going to give more content to YouTubers, and that's going to give them more credit. And
it's going to give you... It's pretty much going to be telling people, hey, we are here, come buy our game, come buy a season pass, play this, come on.
Right, because see, when it was released, the people that bought it and thought that it sucked told their friends that didn't buy it that it sucked.
Yeah.
So they didn't buy it.
But if people are saying, hey, you need to buy this game, this is a really good game.
Uh-huh. So
chances are that people are going to buy the game and be like, oh, this is a good game, and recommend it to more people. So
this Battlefront game, though, is like, I guess it's the highest selling Star Wars game to date. But that doesn't mean that it was good when it was released. I think it was the most bought Star Wars game because The Force Awakens was coming out. Great marketing strategy, releasing a Star Wars game that looked so good in the trailers just like the hype before The Force Awakens was so big.
Yeah.
The entire country was Star Wars.
Yeah, even the non-Star Wars fan turned.
I feel like that needs some editing right there because the entire world was Star Wars.
Right, like the entire world was all full of Star Wars. When the first trailer for The Force Awakens came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god," you know?
Yeah.
You can watch reactions on YouTube to The Force Awakens trailer. People are geeking out.
People are like, "Oh my god, I need to change my pants."
Just
right.
mentioning.
So no matter how bad the game was at release, people were gonna buy it. But then the people were like, I'll wait a little bit and I'll see what, my friends think of it. Well, they told them, this game is horrible. There's no content in it at all. You remember Instant Action that we used to play when we were in, like, middle school? Well, you can't play it anymore because it's not in the game, you know what I mean? Or they talk about, there's missions where you can play as heroes, but you can't be on the same side. You have to fight each other in that. It's like...
Yeah.
So many fans of Star Wars grew up with Battlefront 2.
And then you disappoint them.
They had so much to go on when they were making this game. Everyone loved Battlefront 2. You could have just made Battlefront, like, this new game, you should have included a ton of the content that was in Battlefront 2, and people would have loved it.
Yeah, I feel like...
We didn't need something totally new, because you can't get any better than what Battlefront 2 did.
I feel like when it first came out, everybody pulled an Obi-Wan. We're like, you were the chosen one. I loved you.
Yes.
And now everybody's all like, oh, wait, they're actually getting better.
Yeah, it's like Anakin. At first, you think it's good, then it turns evil, and then at the end, restored. But they gotta become. It's their job to be restored again.
Right. So like,
The community of Luke.
this the game, ever since January, the whole EA and DICE thing said, okay, people don't like our game. And the whole advertising thing, like, it looked so perfect. Star Wars Battlefront, everyone thought it was going to be just like Battlefront 2, but the graphics, they were, like, gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, we're going to be able to play instant action with, with these totally updated graphics, you know what I mean? But then when you actually went into the game, you're like, I mean, yeah, it looks great, but you can't really do anything, you know?
Like, well, shit, what am I supposed to do now?
Right, I don't just want to look at it, I want to play it,
I bought this game for, like, to play it, not for it to just sit here and just, be Anakin on Mustafar right now.
Right. So, they're starting, like, they're listening. Like, remember the guards that Leia had and, like, the shock troopers that the Emperor had as guards?
Yeah.
Well, now, like, the Emperor's guards are the red guys with the capes. Like the guys that were all red.
Yeah.
That's what they are now.
His throne room.
Huh?
The ones who stood in his throne room.
Yeah, like, just, stood there, yeah. They don't have spears, oddly enough. They have the T-21s still.
Oh.
And then Leia's guards look more like rebel soldiers. So they're, they've added onto it. They've added new maps. They've added, more balance. They've added more weapons, all this stuff, new expansions. But the one thing that all of this new content that they've given us, all of it has been in multiplayer.
Yeah.
We haven't received any new single-player content ever since. I mean, we have. We received 2 survival mission maps. But who cares?
Yeah, like...
Have you ever played survival in Star Wars Battlefront?
Survival missions, ooh.
It's just, I don't know. It's so boring. It's so basic. That was the only single-player content that they've given us. And I'm telling you, the game has gotten a lot better since its release. I mean, I'm not going to say a ton better, but it's gotten better. I'll give it that. Some of the, like, having Neenub as a hero to start with wasn't the best option. Maybe you have Chewbacca to start with. I don't know. But I can tell you that a lot of Star Wars fans had to go onto Google and look up his name.
Yeah.
When they realized what it was. But now, Neenub's actually, kind of a cool character to play as.
Yeah.
So it's like, they've gotten better. They have. But like I said, all of this DLC, all of these updates have all been in multiplayer. If they do come out with instant action, and if they give us heroes versus villains, if they give us, like Fighter Squadron, which is, there's no, like, capital ship battles, but there's dogfights, in the space ships, and that's okay. I mean, in Battlefront 2, you always went after the capital ship.
Yeah.
But I don't mind just having a space battle. That's fine. I wasn't really super big into the space battles. I mean, I was a good pilot in Battlefront 2, but I would, destroy the ships on the outside, and my friend would always go inside of the ship,
Yeah.
So I don't mind too much about Fighter Squadron. That's fine. But if they give you Walker Assault, if they give you Supremacy, if they give you Heroes vs. Villains, all in this instant action mode, split screen, super good, it would be maybe the best Star Wars game to date.
I don't think there would be a maybe about that, though.
It would look...
I feel like it would be the best
game ever.
Right, because they would give you all this...
They would be giving you what everybody has been wanting.
Right. And, yeah, like, that's what everyone wants, is this offline content. And you would be able to choose, not only would the multiplayer be good then, but the single player would be amazing.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's, like, the number one mistake game developers make on games, is that when the community says they want something and they end up not doing what the community says they want, and then they try to release a sequel to that game.
Yeah.
That next sequel sales, no one buys it.
Well, that's a never-ending moneymaker, too. They say, oh, see, now, I really respect the developers at EA and DICE right now, because here's what they could have done. They could have just given us these 4 DLC packs, and then that would have been it. That was all. Yeah. And then they said, oh, you want single-player content? Well, don't worry, Battlefront 2 is coming next year. We'll have it in there. But, like, they're actually caring.
They're actually like, okay, we're going to actually put some time into this.
Right.
Instead of being like everybody else. It's like, oh, guys, guess what? Sequel.
Right. And that, you know, even then, though, it's like a franchise like this is like a never-ending moneymaker. You know?
No.
Because you could come out with a Battlefront every single year. You could. You could have it like, this first one is the original trilogy. The second one is going to be episodes 7 and 8. Well, what's the third one going to be? How about the prequels?
You could go into Battlefront for the EU.
And now that Star Wars is like super starting up again, then they have even more up.
Right, like Battlefront 3, that could have all prequel, no original trilogy or anything. Then the fourth one, let's just combine the prequels and the originals. You know?
You could make one for the EU, like, you could make a Battlefront to where it could be based off the Knights of the Old Republic or something like that.
Right, you could do that all the time, because if you put in, I'm telling you though, if you put in instant action, like seriously, it would be perfect. They're adding good heroes, they're adding good villains, they're adding, like, the graphics are phenomenal. If you can give phenomenal single-player content with split screen, because I'm telling you, game developers forget these days that people still like to have their friends over.
No. It's like, oh, so we expect you guys all to be, like, social outcasts with no life and no friends.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
When that's not the case.
If
No,
they do
not at all.
I want them to take their time, but I want them to not do it like, because I'm still in school. I haven't graduated like you guys have. I want them to do it during summer because I don't want it, like, summer to end and then like ta-da.
Right. Now keep in mind, I am expecting a summer release for instant action because, like I said, one of the guys asked, you know, is it over? And then Dennis said we wanted to have it released by Bespin, but it's going to take a little bit longer. And I'm hoping to him a little bit longer does not mean in, like, September.
Or at the beginning of 2017, which would suck.
I wouldn't say it's that long, but I would say, like, the latest we might get this is in the fall when the Death Star DLC comes out. But that is ridiculous.
It's because if it takes that long, then that means they're probably half-assing on it.
Right, and it shouldn't, because, again, we go to when that form was posted, we're going to get offline content. That was in April. It is almost July.
Because, yeah.
It was promised in the spring, and it is the summer now, and we don't
have it.
You
guys are going to promise us something. Do it, and do it well, damn it.
Right, but also, you know, if you are going to do an amazing job on it, then take the time that you need.
Yeah, if you're honestly sincere about doing a great job on it, take as much time as you need, but just don't make it too long.
Exactly. That's a good point, too. Because, I'm telling you, this whole game is riding on this feature. Instant action. You know, we've gone over this, like, 4 times. Like, Reagan, let me ask you something. You have Battlefront, don't you?
I do not play it or anything, but I have, like, loads of friends who play it. I heard it was bad, that's why I didn't get it.
Do you have, like, a PS4 or an Xbox One?
I play PC.
Oh, okay. Well, even if you have PC, if this game got instant action, would you consider buying it?
Oh, I would buy it. Yeah, I would buy that.
So I'm telling you, if EA is smart, and if they do come in, you know, if this menu is real, and we're uncovering, like, finally instant action, you just heard it. A guy's gonna buy it.
Yeah. Hell,
at least one is gonna buy it.
Right. And that's big, because, like you meant, a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people don't have their $50 season pass. But if you come out with a mode that everyone wants, and, you know, finally, when this game has become good, and you're still going to have missions. You're still going to have hero battles where you can fight against each other as heroes. But you're also going to have the option to fight against heroes and be on the same team as heroes yourself. So they're going to keep the mission content, but they're also going to add the best one, which is instant action. And that would make it probably the best Star Wars game to date. And there's no question about that. If they include this mode, you're going to have, big multiplayer, okay missions, and then the best one is definitely instant action.
Oh, yeah.
If you have that, it will be the best Star Wars game. And I'm telling you, EA and DICE will be totally forgiven for the release of this game if they come out with instant action. Everyone will be like, you have listened! This game is good now! Like, it's probably the best! And then people want to buy Battlefront 2. Because
I just have one concern for this game.
What?
And for their whole thing. So, I feel like they're going to try to make this game as best they can, but hold back slightly because they want people to buy the other game, like Battlefield 2.
Battlefront 2.
Or Battlefront 2.
Well, I feel like if they do a good job with this instant action, then people are going to be like, oh, they're actually listening, and they're doing a good job of it. I want to buy Battlefront 2 now, because right now, I don't really want to buy Battlefront 2.
If they do, give us all that we want in this game, and they better step it up next game, though.
Right, because if this instant action does come out in, July, that means that we will have waited 7 months after release for the game to be how we want it.
Yeah.
And that is not okay. That's more than half a year until we finally get what we want in the game.
I feel like that's one of the biggest no-nos you can do.
Right.
Is have people wait 7 months before they actually get the game that they paid for.
Mm-hmm. So, I think EA and DICE had a big learning curve. You know what I mean? They realized, hey, maybe we gotta really focus on what they got in Battlefront 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, they do such a good job with these maps. And I want to explore them. They look so beautiful and they have all these details and stuff. And I want to explore it, but I can't because it's got to be online and everyone's always running around,
Yeah.
But I feel like with bots, if a bot's in your way and I'm Luke Skywalker, I will just force push you and you will go away.
Or just try to strike them down as many times as possible.
Right. It's and then if I want to go explore a map, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But it's I think they're doing a great job. If they have split screen and online co-op, that is perfect. Because you might have friends that are on the same console, but, maybe they're too far away to come over to your house. Or maybe they are just busy and they can only play at their house. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you can play with them, but you have to add split screen. You have to.
Screen. Split screen, I feel, is a must.
You have to add split screen into this.
Because,
now what I'm
split
really...
screen is one of the biggest things they should focus on. Because without split screen, that defeats the whole purpose of having friends over and having fun, pretty much.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Go outside and play or something? Yeah.
No. I know, and see... I don't know, like I said, I don't know, at the beginning of this, I said there are two kinds of Battlefront people in this game. There are the people that are just growing up with Battlefront, and they, I don't know if they're kind of oblivious to the fact that this is not all this game has to offer. And then there's us, which grew up with Battlefront 2. And we're like, this needs to happen. We are not, super impressed by this when you don't add the mode that everyone loved. And I still don't understand what these guys were thinking when they released it in November when they had so much to go on.
It's yeah, guys, let's just release this.
Right, and they didn't... Well, they had so much
did they kind of rush it to where they're just like, yeah, we could just do this later?
I don't know.
Because if they did that,
I think like maybe they thought that the fan base wanted something different, which is not true. We wanted the graphics to be different, but we wanted to have the same experience that we had in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, because I feel like nowadays they're kind of focusing on pushing it more to online and everything anyway, and that's really not what people want at all. They're just like, what are you guys doing? We don't want this.
And keep in mind, this instant action is going to be a lot different and a lot more like exciting than like the Call of Duty offline stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially the same thing, but like in instant action, you can be heroes. You can be Luke Skywalker.
You could pretty much free roam if you wanted to, pull a GTA and just do whatever the hell you want.
Well, I mean, you would have to probably, avoid bots a lot. But, I mean, if you put them on normal and then you don't get anybody, I mean, you could run around.
I mean, avoid bots and run around. I mean, hell, some people like to confront bots and fight them.
Yeah, well, it's like, and you wouldn't have to really worry about it. Like, when I play as Luke and online, and there's a bunch of stormtroopers, I get nervous. I'm like, oh my god, I'm surrounded. But if it's just bots, I'm like, screw you guys. You're going down,
Bye, bro.
Yeah, seriously. I think it would be a lot more relaxing, too. Every time I play Battlefront, sometimes I just want to play it, and just, be involved with it and, not be so nervous when I'm playing it. I just want to relax and be able to enjoy it, but I can't really do that in online a lot because, everyone's always rushing at each other, you know what I mean?
So go for the throat.
Right, so it's like if they do such a good job with this, I'm telling you, it will be the best Star Wars game. And this is EA's good chance to make a really big comeback and
this
prove.
Is their chance I'm just saying, this is their chance to say, we're sorry, here you go.
Yeah.
And all will be forgiven.
Yeah, it will. I won't even.
Everybody will be like, all right, you are forgiven.
Yeah, if they come out with this and it's good, I won't even care about what it was like at release anymore. I'm like, I don't even care. You gave me what I wanted. Thank you. The end. I don't care about the release if they give us a good instant action. I won't care at all.
Yeah, because at least they show that they learned from their mistakes, and they showed us that, hey, we messed up. We understand this. We fixed it for you. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
They actually if they actually take the time to do that, everybody will just drop it. If they take too much time on it, though, I feel like people would expect more than what it would be.
Right. That's the other thing that I really want to talk about too. Is like I said, you can take a lot of time to do what you want, but at the same time, you also told us this in April, and you haven't given us any details. We just found this out from people looking into the coding. We never got any details about anything ever since that was announced by EA and DICE. All this information about instant action has just been found by people that don't work there and have gone into the coding of Bespin. The only thing that we've gotten from them ever since April is them saying, it's coming, don't worry about it. I want to give you details, but I can't. That's nothing.
I feel like the reason why they're trying to hold the information back is so when it actually comes, it can be, sort of a surprise to people who haven't yet heard of it.
But it's not a surprise.
Yeah, but at the same time, for somebody who hasn't heard of it and it, comes up, they can be like, oh, what's this? For, those kids who are just going into it, they don't know what it is.
Right.
For it to come up and pop up, they can be like, oh, this game is, a little better now.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like with instant action, too, you'll feel like you're in Star Wars a lot more.
Yeah.
You can enjoy what the game looks like, and you can enjoy being a hero. You can enjoy, feeling like you're a character in Star Wars, and you won't have to worry about, statistics.
Oh, what's my KD,
yeah,
guys?
that stuff, and you won't have to worry about, all the players all over the place. It's I'm telling you, you can enjoy it so much more with bots. Star Wars Battlefront is one of those games where if you have instant action, you can enjoy it all so much more than it is online. And I don't know, because I still can't think of any other single player content that they could come out with that would be better than this. There is nothing that would be better than this. And if
I don't think they would do anything better than it either.
Yeah, there's nothing better than this, than instant action. There's nothing better for single player content in Star Wars Battlefront than this. Nothing. So I feel like I'm telling you, if it's in the coding and if this guy found the menu to it, I know it's not completed yet, but it was in the coding, and I'm looking right now, the bottom menu, can you see one of the images right now?
Yeah.
If you go to, the first one where it shows the menu, you see, the tips and tricks tab?
Yes.
With Darth Vader on it and the AT-AT.
Yeah.
That tab is now updated to a Bespin image, and it says Bespin has arrived. So, but it also shows a cloud car, which is in the Bespin DLC. So I don't know about that, but I'm hoping that this menu hasn't been updated in a little while, and they've already started adding on new modes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right now there's 2 modes, and if you're the only one that can pick up the hero token and the vehicles, that's great, totally awesome. Maybe have bots fly around vehicles. Why not? But don't let them be a hero. Don't let them be a hero at all. You can have the enemies have a hero. That would be fine. But don't have their side. Don't have our side have a hero that is not us. Terrible idea.
Because if there's a hero besides you, then you kind of feel like, oh, then what am I even here for?
Well, if there's an enemy hero and then you get to be a hero, bots are fighting all over the place, and then you can go up against that other hero.
Yeah,
I mean,
practice,
you can't tell me.
It's not like 2 online people who are like, and one's going all butthurt and going hard, try hard. It's like a bot and you.
Yeah, you can't tell me that you wouldn't be perfectly fine with, say you want to be Luke Skywalker and there's, a Sith or something.
Darth Vader.
You can't tell me that a boss fight with Darth Vader.
And then having bots fighting each other all around you.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Incredible. That is incredible. That would make me feel like I am in Star Wars more than anything else. If they come out with that, I'm telling you, all will be forgiven. I will adore this game. And I already kind of do, but I'm telling you, if Instant Action comes out, favorite video game. This will pass The Last of Us for me if this game comes out with Instant Action, which I thought was going to be impossible. I've played The Last of Us 8 times.
That is a good game.
Yeah, and if Instant Action comes out for this game, that's the best. It's the best, because I grew up with Star Wars. I grew up with Luke Skywalker. I grew up with all these battles that were in the movies. I grew up with Battlefront 2. And if they can give me Battlefront 2 and the graphics that make me feel like I'm in the original trilogy that I grew up with, and I can experience it a lot more than just going around and having to worry about stats and other people all over the place, it'll be the best. Because even if you think about it, if you think 10 years from now, graphics are going to be greatly improved, they're really not. Because, graphics in this game, they look so real.
Yeah.
You can't really make graphics much better than this.
I feel like with the new technology in the future, though, it will be better, but not by much.
Yeah, not greatly improved.
However, I could be wrong because I don't know what the future holds.
Right.
But
yeah, I'm telling you guys, I don't know. I'm telling you, sales would go up so high in season pass numbers if they released the DLC maps in Instant Action. I'm telling you, it says all over the Reddit thread that the guy posted, "Oh my god, I'll buy the season pass. I'll buy the game if you give this."
I can tell you that I would buy the game.
Exactly. See, that's 2 people right there that want to buy this game if they come out with Instant Action. That is proof.
And if they don't,
Go ahead.
And if they don't, make it for, even if it's just 2 people, even if they don't make it for 2 people, then they don't care about everyone individually, and there's no point in making Battlefront. You gotta care about the community.
Right. Yeah. Seriously, it would be, because if you look at this menu right now, it says enjoy epic battles offline by yourself or with a friend, and that better mean that if I tell my friend, hey buddy, come on over, let's play Battlefront, we can go into that menu and we can, like I said, I don't care if you don't have every single mode that this game has in multiplayer and instant action, but you better have the good ones.
If that does not mean split screen,
right,
and they're just trying to pull that, oh yeah, just have somebody play with another console on like a LAN thing or whatever, I feel like that would defeat the whole purpose of enjoy it with a friend, because if you want to really enjoy it with a friend, that's when you put your friends right next to you and play the game.
Yes, because I'm telling you, it's such a big mistake by game companies these days that don't think that we don't want that. And that's really sad, because everyone wants that. It's like Doom didn't come out with a split screen anything.
Yeah.
And that's really too bad. What other games didn't have a split screen thing? When I'm thinking about it. Like, shoot, what else didn't have it? There's a lot of games that don't have it, though.
The only reason why Doom's a good game still, though, even without it, is because it, like, the whole conflict with Call of Duty and everyone flipping out about how it's all just money-based, like CSGO and stuff, and how you can run around and jump and shoot people and fly in these thrusters. Doom came out with the game to prove to people how to make FPSs. But what it forgot, the one thing that Doom forgot was split screen, which makes me mad.
Right, and
I bought Doom.
Go on.
I bought Doom. Doom was a good game. I like it, but I was sitting there, and because my friend pre-ordered it, and I went over to his house the day of, and then when I got home, I bought it. But I was sitting there, and we'd have to take turns and go back and forth, and we couldn't play it together because there was the split screen. That was the biggest problem, and that made me so irritating. Like, and there's no offline.
Right.
There's
no off.
thing,
Yeah. And then, like, I can understand why, like, some games you just want to keep single player, like Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I can understand why.
I mean, like,
that
if you
would
really, really wanted to have a co-op thing, maybe just have, like, one big screen, but then, like, one person could play as Sam and someone could play as Nate.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be something, but I understand how you want to keep that with one person. But I think that almost every game should have a kind of a couch co-op kind of mechanic. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Even if it is, like, a single-player-based game.
Like,
I think that every game, like even made today, should just have some kind of thing where you have a friend over and you're like, hey, you want to play this with me? Sure. You know, and just, like, have a, you know how you can just go, like, guest one on PS4s?
yeah.
Just have that, guest one, and then you can play with your buddy. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if someone could play as Sam and someone could play as Nate when they're together. When it's just Nate, then maybe only the guy that's playing as Nate plays.
Yeah. Now, think about how different, like, the gaming community would be if, like, GTA had, like, a split-screen option where you could actually play with somebody on your tab. You could have so much more fun than what you would have just with playing with your friends online.
And have it, like, even if it's split-screen, it's like, let the people free roam as much as they want. Like, Minecraft on the PS4, that is split-screen. And it is good split-screen, too. You can, in the whole Minecraft thing, you know, you can go wherever you want, and it's split screen. There's no, like, you have to be in the same zone as the other player. Nope. You can go wherever you want, and it is awesome.
Yeah, like, the whole zone restriction thing, too, just needs to die.
Yeah, like, if GTA 5 could have a split screen mode, that would be awesome. So I'm telling you.
That would be, like, the best free-roaming thing
I've
ever.
literally had to have Tony come over with his PS3 just to play GTA 5 with me. And it
In
made
the
me
same
so
house.
In the same house, yeah.
We would set it up in two different
We had to do
TVs.
that, yeah.
That is
just so we could play together
ridiculous.
online. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Why don't they just have a split screen option.
I can understand it's hard to do,
Yeah.
you know, but I think that gaming communities, like gaming companies, need to focus a little bit less on online multiplayer.
Yeah, they need to like.
I think they need to
I
focus.
feel like online play is fun when you want to do it, but like when you don't always want to do online.
Right.
That is one thing no gamer really. Well, I can't really say no gamer. Most gamers want to do is like we don't really want to be online all the time. We want to do our own little thing in like a campaign or something.
And let's say
Go
the
through
servers
that
are down.
by
If you
ourselves.
want to pay offline when the servers are down.
You
Right.
really can't.
Like right now, if I could have either instant action or online multiplayer in Star Wars Battlefront, I would totally have instant action. And if they gave me the online expansion packs, then for instant action, definitely instant action. Play with your buddies and everything. But if they give us instant action and it's perfect, and then we can have both of them, online and instant action, and missions, like best Star Wars game ever made. And it'll be that one Star Wars game where we say, have you ever played like the best Star Wars game, Star Wars Battlefront? Yeah, remember when it was horrible at its release, but then like it got really good as the months progressed, and then when it came out with instant action, it was the best. If they do it right, if they give you the modes that you want, it'll be the best, and we'll all look back at the release as like a, you know, that wasn't very good. But then they got their act together.
Yeah, then you could be like, remember when they actually pulled it together and were like, hey, maybe we should listen to the community for
Well,
once.
they have been listening to the community, you know, like they
I know,
decided
but I mean, in like the whole
single player
broader
thing.
thing, saying,
The only thing
like-
I still don't understand why EA and DICE have not announced it yet.
yeah.
I
That-
understand,
that's-
like, you don't want to give a release date yet. You don't want to give a release date because, like, let's say it doesn't come out on that day specifically, then everyone's going to be all upset. But if you say it's going to take a little bit longer, then I expect it to be out this summer. I do not expect it to be out by, like, September. If it is, that is not a little bit later.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That is, like, 5 months since you said we're going to have single-player content. That is kind of ridiculous.
That is more than ridiculous, actually. That's kind of like, oh, so you guys said a little bit, and then you have to wait an additional few months for this, just for you guys to say, oh yeah, so that's like a year since it was released, or that was like 11 months.
Yeah.
And then what would be even worse in that case is if they have what we want, but it's just not at the quality.
And what if they changed it? Like, they're like, oh, we'll give them what they want.
But we'll change
make
it in
new.
some weird
Yeah.
way to make it new and exciting.
Don't do that either. No. No.
do that.
No. No. Do not do that.
We do not want what people do not like change. Stop changing.
I want
shit.
online
Stop it.
multiplayer to go into offline instant action. That's all I want. I have
Don't
wanted
add
that
too
since
much
November.
shit.
That is not too much to ask.
I know, right?
We have had that since that came out in a game in 2005. That is 11 years ago. And they had this feature. 2005. That was before that Clone Wars series came out with Ahsoka Tano and all that crap.
Yeah.
Still a good series, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's how long ago this game was made.
Wait, was that before? Oh, wait, that was, I think,
11
Kinda.
years ago, dude.
the original Clone Wars Cartoon Network, more cartoony.
That was from like 2003.
Yeah, that was before then.
That was cool
That
because
was
it
cool.
ended with Revenge of the Sith.
I know.
Um,
Instead of just like ending it when Disney bought it, that's kind of
Right.
a disappointment too.
well, anyway, back to the instant action thing. I don't know. Is there anything more that you guys want to cover with this at all? Anything more you guys would like to say about it? Suggestions?
already-
Anything you'd like to
Just
see?
like final regards, saying the same thing that we've said. I would buy it if they came out with it, and if I don't matter as a person, then the whole community should matter. So they should care about everyone individually. it has to happen, and they should listen because then everyone's going to want it, more people are going to buy it, and then when Battlefront 2 comes out, a lot more people are going to buy that. And yeah, that's basically some of what we've been talking about.
I do want to make one more comment. Nate, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
Okay.
I think you just said it all.
I just want to make one more comment. Like, I said this before, you don't have to come out with every single multiplayer mode for instant action.
Yeah.
You just got to give the main ones. Like, if you give me, like, I don't know, Droid Run, but you don't give me Supremacy, we have a problem.
Yeah, we have a big problem at that
Yeah,
point.
it's like if you're going to work super hard on Droid Run, but you're not going to give me Supremacy, which is essentially Conquest from Battlefront 2, where there's command posts.
Yeah.
That's not good. Because there's like 4 to 5 modes that are actually good in the original game. If you can there's like, what, Blast, Supremacy, Walker Assault, Fighter Squadron, Heroes vs. Villains. Those are the best, those are the 5, right?
Yep.
So, if you give us that, if you give us all the maps that are in that, and if you include all the DLC content that we've had so far, and if you include like the Death Star DLC in the future for instant action, that would be perfect too, right?
Yeah.
You just got to include all of it with this. Not all the modes, but all the content that's in the modes that you're going to give. But you really have to focus... Go ahead.
Just like, as long as they do not half-ass this, I cannot just stress enough.
Right.
How everybody would be if they just kind of half-ass this and just toss it in.
Take your time, but not too much time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't give us too much time when you announced it in April and then give it to us like when school starts. That is horrible. And I think it's going to come sooner than later, though, because like this whole menu has come out. They've obviously put some detail into it. Yeah. And I feel like they would design probably the menus a little bit after they've designed a lot of the content.
Yeah, I feel like they would, yeah.
And they've already had a lot to go on. Like the NPCs for like stormtroopers and rebels and stuff have already been designed in the game. In the missions thing with like hero battles and just battles, like those NPCs for stormtroopers and rebels have already been designed. You know? The only thing that they have to do from scratch is hero bots. So I feel like maybe that's what they're working on a lot is hero bots. Because the companies know that there's only 5 modes that people play. And Heroes vs. Villains is the mode that most people play in the whole game is Heroes vs. Villains. That's the only reason why some people still play multiplayer is for that one mode.
Yeah, the one thing with the whole like Heroes thing though is that I know it takes time to do this thing. You can't just do it overnight because it just doesn't work like that. They need time to actually develop this stuff.
But it's a whole company doing it
yes,
at once.
It is a whole company doing it at once, so it shouldn't take them too long.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
And now that Bespin is out, they need to put all of their attention into this.
We also have to consider that, yes, this is a whole company doing this, and yes, they could get it done quickly. But we also have to keep in mind that what if they don't want to release half-assed things? What happens if they want us to actually have genuine quality things?
Yes.
So if they're doing that, if that's the case, perfectly fine with them taking their time, just as long as it's not too long.
Right. So I feel like, they announced this single player content out when they started working on Bespin. Bespin is done. And we can wait for the Death Star for a little bit. If you want to release it, they released Bespin in late June for season pass holders. So the people that don't have it are going to get it in July. So in October, or maybe even November, I don't know. What's the fall for them?
I feel like they can delay this whole Death Star thing.
Right, like you can save it for November if you have to. That's still in the fall.
I feel like this is more important than the Death Star.
Yeah. This instant action is going to save Battlefront. If they do it right, it will save Battlefront. And it will...
But if they do it wrong, like the ways we discussed earlier,
Right.
it will completely destroy this game.
Yes. And if they give us this, like both of you just said, I'll buy it. I'll buy the season pass. It'll bring so much more sales. It'll bring so much more love to the game. And then you can focus on the Death Star all you want. Do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And then if
You can focus on the Death Star with all this extra revenue that's coming in there, buddy.
Right,
Wink,
and like
wink.
instant action on the Death Star. Remember how fun it was in Battlefront 2?
Yes.
Imagine how cool it's going to look. And then imagine being able to play heroes versus villains against bots in the Death Star. And imagine how amazing that will be.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be so cool. They just have to do it right. And whatever DLC content they give us, they have to put that in the game too. And if they do it all right, I'm telling you, everyone is going to love this game. Everyone's going to love it. Like, I like it, but I want to love it. I want it to be my favorite game. And if it gives me Go ahead.
I want it to be my life, damn it, not just a game.
Right, like that, and I feel like if instant action is given to me, that's how it's going to be. EA and DICE just need to announce it. It's been leaked. There's been a ton of people that have seen the code. Don't give us a release date if you don't want to, but at least tell us we're giving you instant action. And I'm telling you,
Or at least,
go ahead.
all they need to do is really just confirm it.
Yeah, just confirm it. That's all you have to do.
Confirm it.
So, bottom line, we should finish this up. But bottom line, if you do it right, give us the modes that we want. Don't half-ass it. Take time, but don't take too much time. You know, best spin is done. Don't worry about the Death Star right now.
Delay the Death Star
Yeah,
if you have to.
Yes, just work on the content that you promised us months ago. And if you do that, and if you do it right, there's going to be more sales. People are going to love the game a lot more. And more people will be playing it.
The game.
It will be perfect if they do it right. They just have to confirm it, and they have to do it. And if they do it right, it will be the best Star Wars game out there. When people originally played it, it was one of the worst. And it will become the best if they do this right.
I also have one more thing to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is, if they do this correctly, and they actually make it to what the people wanted, it could be the best Star Wars game right now, but if someone develops a game later on and uses this game as inspiration, think about how much greater that game could be.
Right, and I'm telling you, if they do this right, it will be one of the biggest video game comebacks I have ever seen. Like, seriously. They just have to do it so right. And if they do it right, it will be the best. And I'm telling you, I will love it. I will play instant action all the time. With my friends, online co-op, by myself, with bots. You can play it however you want. It's instant action. You can enjoy it with 1 or 2 players. Enjoy it with your friend. It'll be perfect if they do it right.
It would be.
Yep. So please do this. Confirm it. Do it right. Have it released by at least the end of the summer. Please.
Emphasis on the please.
Yes, just please. Please do it. Alright, Nate and Reagan, thank you so much for joining me for this really long discussion. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I'm gonna keep on looking for updates all the time. I will keep you guys updated, and I will keep all of my audience on YouTube updated as much as I can. This has to happen. This has to happen. It will be the best Star Wars game to date if this happens. Okay. I will talk to you guys soon then.